say probably the better thing to do, honestly, is to adopt a pet at an animal shelter. I have done it many times, and I will tell you, it is a gift that keeps on giving.
Right now at 5, one of the most highly respected journalists of our time. Tonight, the world is mourning the death of ABC News anchor Peter Jennings.
And one more day in space after weather delays the return of the space shuttle Discovery. Good evening. I'm Dana Tyler, in for Roz Abrams.
And I'm Jim Rosenfield. This evening, the world is reacting to the passing of ABC World News Tonight anchor Peter Jennings. The 67-year-old was a giant in the industry and at ABC Network for 41 years. CBS 2's Carrie Lyon is live outside ABC studios on the Upper West Side now with a look at Jennings' life and legacy. Carrie?
Jim, curious, tireless, a leader, a fierce competitor, and a loyal friend. Those are just some of the ways friends and colleagues of Peter Jennings remembered him today.
I have learned in the last couple of days that I have lung cancer. Yes, I was a smoker until about 20 years ago. And I was weak, and I smoked over 9/11. But whatever the reason, the news does slow you down a bit.
It was just 4 months ago that Peter Jennings told his viewers he was suffering from lung cancer. And while he said he hoped to return to the anchor desk soon, this appearance turned out to be his last. The 67-year-old succumbed to the aggressive disease at his Central Park West apartment with his wife and 2 children by his side.
Peter Jennings was at the very core of what we do and who we are, and he was at the core of it for 41 years.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Jennings was born and raised in Canada. He never finished high school, instead jumping into his broadcast career at an early age. Friends and colleagues say that lack of a formal education drove him to work even harder.
I never saw anyone work so hard, do so much homework. If I knew the name of the person in the parade, he knew the name of the horse.
He first took the helm at ABC News at age 26, but left that post a few years later, saying he needed to get some experience as a foreign correspondent, and he did, reporting on the biggest stories from every corner of the globe: the civil rights movement of the 1960s, wars in Vietnam and the Middle East. And on September 11, 2001, and over the week that followed, he clocked 60 hours of airtime, helping to bring some calm into the homes of millions of frightened Americans.
So if you're a parent, you got a kid in some other part of the country, call them up.
With Jennings' death comes the end of an era when the big 3 network anchors dominated the evening news. Former CBS anchorman Dan Rather spoke of his longtime colleague and competitor from Beirut today.
He was courageous in places like Bosnia and Baghdad, and here in Beirut, Lebanon, and 1,000 other hellholes and datelines long since forgotten. But his courage was on magnificent display in this fight, which he eventually lost.
And today, President Bush said the country lost a great man.
A lot of Americans relied upon Peter Jennings for their news. He became a part of the life of a lot of our fellow citizens, and he will be missed.
Right now you're looking at a bus shelter advertisement outside of ABC News where people have been taping up flowers in memory of Peter Jennings. But as much as he loved the news, people who knew him best say that he would have put all that aside, and he did put all of that aside every time his family called. And this evening, our condolences go out to his wife and 2 children and to our colleagues at ABC News. Live on the Upper West Side, Carrie Lyon, CBS 2 News. Jim?
Carrie, thank you. As for funeral and memorial plans at this point, the family says that the funeral will be private.
Breaking news right now at 5. Minutes ago, a police chase ended on the Garden State Parkway. Joe Bierman and Chopper 2 live over the scene in Union. Joe?
Well, Dana, another day, another police chase. This one started in East Orange, New Jersey, came down the Garden State Parkway, ended up in a crash on the ramps from Route 78 to the southbound Parkway. Now, all we know is there were 4 bad guys inside this car. One of them apparently waved a gun at an East Orange police officer. That's what started the pursuit. Now, the police were able to apprehend 3 of them here on the ramp down here from the Route 78 to the Parkway, where that vehicle collided with a civilian automobile. There are still injured folks inside that civilian automobile. At least 2 or 3. EMS is doing a triage on them. The one suspect that is still at large is reportedly running through a brook north of Route 78. State police helicopter is looking through that brook for them But meantime, east and westbound Route 78, traffic is at a standstill trying to merge onto the Garden State Parkway southbound. There weren't any injuries to any police officers in this latest chase. We're live over Union. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Joe. NASA says it will bring back the shuttle Discovery tomorrow one way or another. Bad weather forced the delay of the shuttle's return this morning, but Mission Control has 2 alternate sites on standby for tomorrow. CBS 2's Jennifer Donnellan has more from the Kennedy Space Center. Jennifer.
Well, the astronauts had the day off, but it was one that they had hoped to spend with their families. Low clouds meant that the shuttle had to stay high above the Earth's atmosphere. Now it's time to gear back up for another try at a possible landing.
It's time for you to return back home to planet Earth.
NASA hoped for a touchdown, but scored bad weather instead.
We're going to officially wave you off for 24 hours.
After using a plane to mimic the shuttle's flight pattern, NASA engineers decided conditions weren't just right.
It was a close day. It wasn't quite good enough.
The Discovery crew will try to land again tomorrow, either at the Kennedy Space Center or at a site in California or New Mexico. With the crew having been in space almost 2 weeks, NASA is anxious to get them back home. The astronauts aboard Shuttle Discovery are the first to fly since Columbia broke up during re-entry in 2003. This is a makeshift memorial. The disaster pushed NASA to create stricter safety standards and has made this shuttle landing the most anticipated in history. Despite NASA calling the mission a success thus far, there have been glitches. An unprecedented spacewalk was needed to remove protruding gap filler from the shuttle's belly. There were also concerns over a tear in a thermal blanket. And all of this after a launch where chunks of foam fell off Discovery's outer tanks. A similar problem doomed Columbia. But NASA engineers say this time the shuttle wasn't hit by the debris. And so Discovery continues to circle the Earth, waiting to come home. The world waits with them. So how will Mother Nature play into the landing equation tomorrow? Cloudy weather is expected here again at Kennedy Space Center, but it remains NASA's first choice. Rain is in the forecast for the New Mexico site, but there are good conditions expected at Edwards Air Force Base in California. Either way, NASA says it's determined to get the shuttle back on the ground safely. At the Kennedy Space Center, I'm Jennifer Donnellan, CBS 2 News.
The family of a Discovery astronaut from Queens has chosen to wait for him in Florida, hoping his shuttle lands there. Research engineer Charles Camarda's wife and children will stay at Cape Canaveral. Meanwhile, back in Ozone Park, his mother says she was up all night praying for her son's safe return.
It's been a long 2 weeks, should I say. They said 12 days, now it's going to 14 days, yeah. But let's hope everything goes well and they will land tomorrow.
Wherever the shuttle lands, we will carry it live on CBS 2. The first attempt is scheduled for shortly after 5 tomorrow morning.
Dana, a slight scare at Newark Liberty Airport this afternoon. A Continental passenger jet was taxiing before takeoff when it clipped 2 other planes on the ground. Both planes were Brazilian jets parked near the terminal. All 3 planes were full of passengers, but no one was hurt. No word yet on exactly what caused the incident. Nassau County Police say a repeat offender is responsible for killing a young mother in a drunk driving accident. This crash happened in Elmont just a few days after another young woman was killed along the same stretch of road. CBS 2's Jennifer McLogan has more.
Her brother broke down at word of the fatal crash. Standing in front of the well-kept Elmont home he shared with his 30-year-old sister Concepcion Uceda, she, the proud mother of a thriving 8-year-old son, Alan, Concepcion worked day and night to provide for him.
She opened the store, and yesterday she came to the store, and then they say something happened.
It was the second tragic wreck along this stretch of the Hempstead Turnpike in less than a week, both claiming lives of young, productive Elmont mothers. Last week, due to alleged drag racers. This week, a suspect with a long criminal history, Gary Morris of Freeport, already served time for DWI and manslaughter and was recently arrested for marijuana.
He's driving under the influence of alcohol for the second time. He's driving without lights. He's driving without a license, and he crosses over the double yellow line. In this instance, he wound up killing another individual.
Suspect Morris arraigned on manslaughter charges in his hospital bed.
I'm still kind of in shock.
And there's another tragic twist to this story. Joseph Law's family is praying for his recovery. Now in critical condition, he was driving Concepcion home from this 7-Eleven as a favor to a stranger so that she did not have to call a taxi. Law's West Hempstead neighbors are shaken by the turn of events.
He's just a very, very fine, loving, caring, giving young man that I think any mother would be proud to have.
You're not at all surprised he was giving a stranger a ride?
Not at all.
And now victim Concepcion Uceda's shaken family is planning her funeral. Her parents had just visited her and grandson Alan and were flying back to Honduras from New York when they received word of the death. From police headquarters in Mineola, Jennifer McLogan, CBS 2 News.
Hunters in New Jersey may soon be able to target bears. The State Fish and Game Council votes tomorrow on whether to allow a bear hunt. New Jersey held its first one in 3 decades back in 2003, angering wildlife groups. But state officials say they may allow another one because the black bear population has jumped into the thousands. Many bears have broken into homes or killed pets while foraging for food.
Well, we had a brief respite, but outside today, the heat, haze, and humidity are all back, along with some thunderstorms. CBS 2 meteorologist Jeff Baradelli's at the map with our first look at what's going on. Jeff?
Jim, not all that active around the area right now. We do have some sprinkles. We do have some rain. A few sprinkles on the east end of Long Island. Some moderate rain across northwestern New Jersey. We did have some stronger thunderstorms there earlier, but there hasn't really been much severe weather. There was a little severe weather up in Newburgh. Also some heavier stuff down in the southern and central part of New Jersey. But really the city right now rather dry with just a spritz or a sprinkle here or there. Now we did see quite a bit of rain in western parts of New Jersey, right near the Delaware water gap, as much as 2, 3, and some isolated spots, 4 inches of rain in the extreme northwestern corner of Sussex County. That heavy rain extended straight south into southern New Jersey, but the rest of the area, just again, a couple of spritzes, couple of sprinkles. Will this continue? Humidity will be with us. We'll talk about it coming up later, Jim.
All right, Jeff, thanks. A man accused of running an immigration scheme in New York has been picked up in Baltimore. Mohammed Asif Haider was arrested during a traffic stop last night. He's one of 4 people indicted last week by a New York grand jury. He's accused of selling bogus Social Security cards and fake green cards to an undercover NYPD agent. Authorities believe the cards were used to get into the United States.
Extra security started today on Amtrak's Northeast Corridor trains. State and local police, including members of the NYPD, are working with Amtrak police as they patrol platforms, trains, and tracks. CBS 2's Brendan Keefe live at Penn Station with the story. Brendan.
Dana, the NYPD announced today its role in a new anti-terrorism task force to patrol and protect the rail line linking New York and Washington, D.C. You'll remember these 2 cities are considered prime terrorist targets, as demonstrated on September 11th. Just 350 officers of the Amtrak police are tasked with protecting Penn Station and the rails that connect Penn to Union Station in the nation's capital. But the 37,000-member NYPD has offered to supplement Amtrak's force because that stretch of railroad is the most heavily traveled in the nation and considered a potential target. We saw no extra security in Penn Station this afternoon, but a total of 12 agencies have offered to provide officers from New Jersey, Philadelphia, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and other jurisdictions along the Northeast Corridor. It's important to point out there has been no specific threat made, according to the NYPD. They say this is just prudence to protect such an important rail line linking 2 cities considered those potential targets. We're live at Penn Station. Brendan Keefe, CBS 2 News. Dana.
Thanks, Brendan. 3 of the 4 main suspects in the failed July 21st London bombings appeared in court today. Armed officers stood guard near the courthouse in southeast London, not far from the prison where the 3 suspects are being held. The men are charged with attempting to murder passengers on London's transit system. A 4th suspect is in custody in Rome, awaiting extradition. All face life in prison if convicted. Jim?
Americans in Saudi Arabia are on high alert this evening because of a possible terrorist threat. The U.S. Embassy and consulates are closed today and tomorrow. Saudi official says there's no specific threat, but the Australian government issued its own warning today, saying it has credible reports that terrorist attacks are planned.
It could be a breakthrough in the fight against cancer. See how doctors are now able to pinpoint radiation directly to the site of the cancer.
The guy's helped me, so I owe him my life.
A dramatic rescue in New Jersey after a rash of fires in a local neighborhood.
And an unbelievable sight coming up. Find out where this massive water main ruptured.
Closed caption is brought to you by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's moving you forward. She's after Hillary's job, coming up at 6.
New Yorkers need a full-time senator.
Janine Pirro's plans to challenge Hillary Clinton for her Senate seat, plus preparing for a bioterrorist attack. Homeland Security's big test in the heart of Midtown. CBS 2 News at 6.
The low-carb craze is gone, so what's new in the diet world? I'm Mario Bosquez. Tuesday morning starting at 5, we'll tell you about the brand new wave of diets.
Plus point-to-point traffic reports, date prices, weather forecast, and half the commercials. CBS 2 News this morning.
Honey, that dog doesn't even like carrots.
It's called Mom Vision.
They're on your desk.
The ability to see things that others can't, even on dishes.
Oh, thanks, honey. Hey, looks clean. But let's try this.
Introducing Dawn with Bleach Alternative. Powers away unseen food residue. You might not see it, but Mom knows it's there. And now, she knows it's taken care of. New Dawn with Bleach Alternative. A drop of Dawn and grease is gone.
Put it back!
All across New York, small businesses, working people, and their families finally have quality health insurance they can afford, thanks to Healthy New York.
I needed health insurance for myself and my employees.
And now it's more affordable than ever, with lower premiums, more choices, and it's easier to qualify.
Keeping working families and small businesses stronger and healthier. That's Healthy New York.
To find out if you qualify, call 1-866-HEALTHY-NY.
Guiding Corporation has recalled 11 cardiac defibrillator models and issued safety warnings on several pacemaker models due to malfunctions that could lead to serious health complications or death. If you or a loved one have a Guidant cardiac defibrillator or pacemaker and think you may be at risk, call Jacoby and Myers toll-free at 1-888-9-CLAIM-9. Time restrictions may apply, so call now. 1-888-9-CLAIM-9. That's 1-888-9-CLAIM-9.
Our five-borough economic plan has created 62,000 jobs. But it's about a lot more than statistics. It's about good jobs that help a family buy a home, save for college, and build a better life. It's about strong neighborhood businesses growing, clean streets, less crime. We've got big plans to create more jobs all across New York. One job at a time, if that's what it takes.
They're making repairs this evening following a massive water main break in Atlanta. A crumbling 30-inch pipe gave way, sending jets of water dozens of feet into the air. Nobody was hurt, but people got wet, and some area homes and businesses were left without water service. Atlanta water officials say the main was built around 1920. It was old, gave way. Jim?
Busy day for Jersey City firefighters. They had to battle 3 separate fires at the same time. As CBS 2's Tamsin Fidel tells us, one of the blazes was at an apartment building.
Shate and her 3 children were asleep in their first-floor apartment when the fire broke out.
I feel the heat. I feel heat in the apartment. So I got up, and I saw the smoke. So I started screaming for the kid to get up and get out of the house.
She just screamed, and then the only thing I heard was like I thought she was fighting or something. So then I woke up, I saw smoke. I was like, what? And I ran out of the house.
Fire officials say several people were trapped when the call first came in. Amar Sabre was one of those residents. He lives on the 2nd floor and says with the help of a neighbor, he had to jump from the window to get out alive.
The guys helped me, so I owe him my life, actually. He put a lot of garbage cans, plastic garbage can, and I jumped in it, and I thank God that was safe.
I told him open up the window and jump. So he was scared, so I had to put all the garbage cans, I lined them up in the garbage so he could jump, and we caught him on the way down.
This was one of 3 fires that firefighters were called out on this morning in the city. They say they were going to all 3 around the same time. Some of the victims were questioning response time.
Yeah, it took a while.
There were 3 multiple alarm fires at the same time. All 3 of them were fairly significant.
Meanwhile, Red Cross has been moving from one fire scene to the next, assisting people. Here they have the task of helping at least 7 families who will need a place to live for some time. Reporting from Jersey City, I'm Tamsin Fidel for CBS 2 News.
And a 3-alarm fire broke out along a row of storefronts in the Bronx. Started around 9:30 this morning on University Avenue in Morris Heights. At least 5 stores were damaged by flames or smoke. 9 firefighters suffered minor injuries. No word yet on what caused that fire.
We have some good news for people trying to shed some extra pounds.
See what's finally coming to New York City.
Plus, raking in the money. Find out which part of our area has the highest salaries in the nation. And Rosie O'Donnell making her way back to Broadway. Up next, we'll tell you who she'll be sharing the stage with.
NCL now gives you more choice with 2 ships sailing year-round from New York on 6 to 11-day cruises round trips to the Bahamas, Florida, or the exotic Caribbean. Enjoy the freedom of freestyle cruising aboard Norwegian Dawn or Norwegian Spirit with up to 10 restaurants and an ocean of amenities. With NCL, it's easy to get away any time of year. So catch a cab to the harbor and you'll be in paradise before you know it.
At Keyspin, we make the energy that keeps the lights on. It's not just a job.
It's a privilege to work for a company
that has customer service as its priority.
Reliability.
Reliability.
Reliability. It's important to us
and our customers.
When there's a problem, we go out and fix it.
We take great pride in our work
because Long Island is our home, too.
Our home.
Our home.
Our home.
Our home.
Our home.
You're needed in Washington.
Dr. Molly Caffrey developed a plan.
Ideal and worst case scenarios.
On what to do in the event of extraterrestrial contact.
You hear that?
We've confirmed the presence of alien life, and in all likelihood, it poses an imminent threat.
The plan is called Threshold.
Who are they? Why are they here?
And this September, it's our only hope.
What's next in the Threshold playbook?
You'll find out under the chapter heading What to Do If We're Screwed.
CBS Fridays this fall.
Hey, Mom, I know you're going to be disappointed, but I'm not going to be able to make it home.
Come on, it's your birthday.
But I have 2 papers that I have to do.
Well, you have my cheese card if you decide to fly home.
No, Mom, sorry.
You'll be there when I look around.
Chase email alerts keep you on top of your checking account.
Don't pull up right in front of the house.
Show me that you're mine, girl. All right.
Email alerts to keep you prepared for life's little surprises. Your choice, your Chase.
As the blistering days of summer take their leave, an event comes along so legendary it can't be missed. The Toyota Time Clearance Event. Act now for amazing deals on Toyota's selection of SUVs, including RAV4, Highlander, and 4Runner. Right now, you can lease a 4Runner for only $269 a month, or take advantage of 0% APR, or get $1,500 cash back. The clock's running, so catch this event now. With deals like these, everyone wins. That's moving you forward.
News is brought to you by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's moving you forward.
A corporate giant sinks its teeth into the Big Apple. CBS 2 business reporter Alexis Christophers has that story and more in her Money Watch report.
Record high oil prices had stocks over a barrel today. Crude closed just shy of $64 a barrel, which should translate into higher prices at the gas pump in the coming weeks. On Wall Street, the Dow slipped 21 points. The Nasdaq sank 13.5. The S&P dipped 3 points. It pays to work in Manhattan. According to the latest census figures, Manhattanites have a higher average salary than any other county in the country. There are 103,000 businesses in Manhattan employing 2 million people, and the average salary is $73,000. But experts say that number is skewed by the giant salaries of Wall Street bigwigs. And Weight Watchers is taking a bite out of the Big Apple, moving its headquarters from Woodbury, Long Island to 11 Madison Avenue. Mayor Bloomberg applauded the move.
From the start, one of our primary goals has been to attract successful companies like Weight Watchers that can diversify and strengthen our economic base so that our city's prosperity isn't solely dependent on the financial sector.
The new headquarters will house 250 Weight Watchers employees. The diet company operates in 30 countries and holds 46,000 weekly meetings. And that's your Money Watch. I'm Alexis Christophers, CBS 2 News.
Now let's check on the stories coming up tonight on CBS 2 News at 6.
Maurice DuBois in the newsroom now. Maurice?
All right, Jim and Dana, thank you. And straight ahead at 6 tonight, the Westchester DA has her eyes on the U.S. Senate.
So I'm looking forward to this race, and I'm looking forward to winning it.
Janine Pirro challenging Hillary Clinton. We'll have a one-on-one interview for you tonight. Also find out how John Jr. Gotti is defending himself against racketeering charges as his trial gets underway. Plus, more ethics questions in the New Jersey governor's race. When Dana joins me right here for the news at 6, guys.
All right. See you then.
You are busy.
I am so busy. Time to check the forecast. He's busier.
We have time for that. Yep. Here's Jeff Berardelli again, in for John Bellaris. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, I have been busy during the day today, but things are quieting down, so that's some good news. We have cloudy skies, and we've had cloudy skies for a good part of today, so that's blocked out a lot of that heating, a lot of the sunshine. That's helped us out, so our thunderstorms haven't been as intense as they could have been if our temperature was higher and if we had more sun. Looking at Viper right now, some big storms around Philadelphia, but even these are not severe, just some heavy downpours. So let's zoom on into the coast of New Jersey right now. Forked River right there, Seaside Heights. Again, some downpours, some moderate to occasionally heavy rain, especially to the west right here. You can see it. We also have some heavier rain as well around the Trenton area, especially just to the west of Trenton. So if you're headed down in that direction along the New Jersey Turnpike, you're going to run into some moderate rain, occasionally heavy rain, and also in the northern part of New Jersey right now, just to the south of Port Jervis. Here's Sussex County right here. Again, some moderate rain, but nothing all that heavy. So that's some good news. All right, let's switch computers and show you what else is going on across the area right now. Temperature is not all that hot today, but the humidity is back, and it's going to be here all week, unfortunately. Briarcliff right now checking in with 80 degrees. Carmel about 81 degrees there. Middletown 77. Some rain cool there. A lot of rain up in Monticello. Got to 68 degrees right now. That's the temperature. Staten Island 83. About 81 in Syosset, 80 in Wading River. Out on Long Island, it's been cloudy today, but the rain has kind of missed you. The main batch of rain has been over western New Jersey and up into the Hudson Valley in New York. There was some heavy rain around Newburgh as well. All right, satellite and radar. Here's a look right now at what's going on as far as the clouds and also the rainfall. You can see the rain scattered about, but not too much in the city. Most of it is to the west of us and to the south of us, right in this zone. That's where it's been. There's a stationary front over us. Now, as this lifts up over us tomorrow, I think the sun will begin to appear. So it's been cloudy today, but as the front lifts past us and we get into more of a southerly wind flow, we'll probably see a little more sun. But with more sun comes a better chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms around the area tomorrow and again on Wednesday. And that's basically the pattern this upcoming week. It's going to feel like summer with highs in the upper 80s to near 90. So mostly cloudy, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Lows tonight basically in the 70s. Then during the day tomorrow, a little hotter. Today we got to 83. Tomorrow we'll probably get to around 86, and that could spark off a couple of afternoon and evening thunderstorms. Otherwise, a lot of clouds and also some breaks of sunshine. So just very typical, humid, tropical summertime weather.
Except it's right here in New York and not in the tropics.
Not in the tropics, right.
All right, thanks.
Well, the film version of a classic TV series raced to the top of the box office this weekend, and big stars heading back to Broadway. Katie is here with all of today's entertainment news.
Yeah, you are going to recognize her name. Rosie O'Donnell is who we're talking about. Yes, Rosie O'Donnell, probably best known for her Emmy-winning talk show, but now she's getting ready to make her return to the Great White Way. Yes, Rosie is set to take the stage September 20th as Golda opposite Harvey Fierstein's Tevye in the revival of Fiddler on the Roof. Harvey, a longtime friend of Rosie's, said that he could not be happier they will finally share a stage together. O'Donnell, who made her Broadway debut in Grease, also served as producer for the Broadway flop Taboo 2 years ago. And the good old boys brought in some serious cash over the weekend. The Dukes of Hazzard, starring Sean William Scott and Johnny Knoxville as Bo and Luke Duke. And yes, Jessica Simpson, sporting those Daisy Dukes, earned the #1 spot at the box office with $30.6 million. Slipping into second, Wedding Crashers, taking in $16.5 million. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is still sticking around in third place this week with $10.6 million. Sky High flew into fourth at $9 million, while the romantic comedy Must Love Dogs rounded out the top 5, earning just over $7 million. I was a little bit surprised, I think, that Dukes of Hazzard came in first. Not greatest reviews, but people still spent their money to go and see it.
Must be nostalgic or something.
Perhaps.
Or they like the people in it.
I think it might be Daisy Duke, but that's just...
I think Jessica Simpson may have had a lot to do
Going
with that
out on a limb there, are you, Jeff?
Perhaps.
Just a guess.
Sunrise, Sunset by Rosie, huh?
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
It will be.
She likes to sing those Broadway tunes, that Rosie.
Yeah, she does. That we know.
Yes, she does.
Thanks, Katie.
Yep.
Coming up, from Tiger Woods to Vijay Singh, a major golf tournament coming to the Garden State. Deuces Rogers has a preview.
In Health Watch, a new treatment may help cancer patients get more accurate radiation therapy.
And neighbors react to a violent bias attack in their community next.
The dirtiest restaurants, the most sickening supermarkets, diners, delis, and snack bars that could put your health at risk. If you see dirty conditions where you eat or buy food, CBS 2 wants to know. Log on to WCBS-TV.com, click on Eat at Your Own Risk, and tell us all about it. Watch our exclusive Eat at Your Own Risk reports on CBS 2 News at 11.
E.T. remembers Peter Jennings, our exclusive interviews.
And what his closest friends tell us today about Peter's final hours.
Plus, inside Eddie Murphy's divorce papers, next E.T.
Tonight at 7:30 on CBS 2.
When I was 8, they said I was too little to swim with the older girls, but I didn't listen. I won. Now I'm a single mom, I own my own home, and they said credit problems were going to stop me from sending my daughter to college. I didn't listen. I did it.
America's Lending Partners wants you to succeed. We match you with up to 4 lenders who offer exceptional loans for homeowners with less than perfect credit. Our service is free with no obligation. America's Lending Partners, the perfect advantage for less than perfect credit. Call 1-877-66-PARTNERS.
Wednesday, it's Macy's one-day sale. Look for the best savings for your family and home. Jewelry 30 to 50% plus an extra 15% off selections. Skirts, pants, tees, more for her, 40% off. Men's suits, dress shirts, and more, 65 to 70% off. Macy's one-day sale, Wednesday, Review Day Tuesday. Macy's, way to shop.
Is the IRS keeping you up at night? Are you afraid of losing everything? Don't let the IRS control your life.
Hello, I'm John Harris, president of J.K. Harris & Company. The IRS can attach your wages, your pension, your savings, even your Social Security checks. If you owe back taxes, you could qualify to reduce your tax debt by as much as 85%.
Call the IRS experts at J.K. Harris now for your free confidential tax settlement analysis.
Call 1-800-893-0342.
If you carry this card, you want this card, the AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan card. Even with Medicare, you could still pay nearly half of your medical bills out of your own pocket. If you're 65 or over, this card can help pay for what Medicare doesn't. This is one powerful card. It represents the only Medicare supplement plan endorsed by AARP. Why an AARP Medicare supplement plan? Because you can keep your own doctors without any referrals and no claim forms. Prescription drug coverage is available, and AARP group rates are competitively priced. Call to get free information about these plans underwritten by United Healthcare Insurance Company. There's no obligation, and it's easy to change to an AARP plan. Call now and you'll also get this free booklet. Call now even if you're not an AARP member yet, and join more than 2 million members enjoying the benefits of this powerful card. Call now.
Updating our top stories now at 5:30. A giant of the news industry is dead. ABC newsman Peter Jennings has lost his battle with lung cancer. Jennings anchored ABC's World News Tonight for 22 years. He was only 67 years old.
NASA plans to have the shuttle Discovery land tomorrow. Today's scheduled landing had to be scrubbed because of bad weather. And if Mother Nature doesn't cooperate in Florida tomorrow, the shuttle could land in California or New Mexico.
And a young mother has been killed in an alleged drunk driving crash in Nassau County. 30-year-old Concepcion Uceda died in Elmont yesterday morning when the car she was in was hit by another car. The driver of that car, Gary Morris, now charged with drunk driving and manslaughter. Police say he served prison time for the same charges in the past.
Questions surround a reported bias attack in Brooklyn. Police say a group of white men beat and robbed a black man in Flatlands early yesterday. CBS 2's Tanya Rivero has more.
29-year-old Alex Moore left Brookdale Hospital late last night, earlier than doctors recommended. According to hospital officials, Moore was reportedly treated for blunt trauma to the head and chest and a severe laceration to his ankle. The attack happened on this corner of Avenue N in the racially mixed Flatlands neighborhood. Today, residents reacted to the news.
I was shocked. I was very shocked because it's a nice neighborhood and lots of different groups.
Since I've been here, we never had a problem around here. Everybody gets along.
Yeah?
It's a great area to live in. Raise your families here.
But some who would not go on camera did express concerns about racial relations and the media's coverage of this and other racially motivated crimes. Elected leaders, including the mayor, have spoken out strongly.
I think we want to assure all community leaders that no matter who is the victim of a biased crime, we aren't going to tolerate it. No matter what neighborhood it's in, we are not going to tolerate it. Period.
I've posted a $1,000 reward for any information that would lead to the arrest and conviction of the individual or individuals that were involved in this incident.
Police say the investigation is being handled by the city's hate crimes unit, and they will be recanvassing the neighborhood for additional information. The Brooklyn DA says he is taking this incident very seriously, and if and when the suspects are caught, he says he will push for the harshest penalties. If they are convicted of a first-degree bias assault, they face a maximum of 8 to 25 years in prison. From East New York, Tanya Rivero, CBS 2 News.
And police are investigating another possible hate crime this evening. This one in Chelsea. They say the attackers yelled anti-gay slurs while they beat up 2 men early yesterday. The victims, One white, the other African-American, were on their way to a gay bar. Detectives are now searching for the suspects, and anyone with information is asked to call police.
A bank robber with a distinctive trademark has apparently struck again on Long Island. Police say a bandit with a bandage on his nose held up the Washington Mutual Bank on Route 58 in Riverhead Friday. He got away with an undetermined amount of cash, and police think this guy may have struck before. A bank robber with a bandage on his nose held up a Fleet Bank in Riverhead on January of 2003.
The Ohio man charged in a series of highway shootings is dropping his insanity defense and pleading guilty. Today, a judge announced that 29-year-old Charles McCoy will plead guilty to randomly shooting at vehicles and homes along Interstate 270 around Columbus. Those shootings happened over 5 months in 2003 and 2004. They terrorized the community. One woman was killed. Defense attorneys say McCoy is mentally ill, so under the deal with prosecutors, he'll serve his sentence in a prison mental health wing.
Today, President Bush signed into law an energy bill that he says will eventually help free the U.S. from depending on foreign sources for oil. CBS correspondent Meg Oliver has the latest from Washington.
From tax credits to an extended daylight savings period, this new law has a lot packed into it, but it will take time before we see results. We won't see prices plummet at the pump immediately, but after signing his energy bill into law today in New Mexico, President Bush says the U.S. won't have to rely on foreign oil as much over the next decade.
The Energy Policy Act of 2005 is going to help every American who drives to work, every family that pays a power bill.
For consumers sick of sticker shock at the pump, the bill will offer tax credits for buying hybrid cars.
And the way the tax credit works is that the more efficient the vehicle is, the more money you will save.
The measure will send billions of dollars to energy companies in the form of tax breaks and loan guarantees. This for the development of cleaner burning fuels and new nuclear power plants.
America is moving closer to a vital national goal. We will start building nuclear power plants again by the end of this decade.
Critics of the bill say it does too little to promote alternative fuels.
The bill misses a huge opportunity to jumpstart the renewable industry, and instead it gives billions and billions of dollars to the oil and gas industry, which is recording record profits.
In an effort to prevent another blackout like the one that paralyzed the Midwest and Northeast in 2003, the measure will also require utility companies to follow federal standards. Another notable change, beginning in 2007, the law will extend daylight savings time by 1 month to save energy. The measure does not include the president's original plan to approve oil drilling in the Alaskan Arctic. However, drilling advocates say a backup plan is expected by mid-September. In Washington, Meg Oliver for CBS 2 News.
We have some traffic tie-ups to tell you about. Joe Bierman's live in Chopper 2 over the Cross Bronx Expressway. Joe?
Hey, Jim, we just cruised through the Bronx. The westbound Cross Bronx Expressway is packed from the Bruckner all the way over to the George Washington Bridge. And the problem here is all the truck traffic has to merge all the way over to the left. You can see all those tractor trailers merging over the left to use the outbound upper level of the bridge. That's one of the security checkpoints. And don't forget, out in New Jersey, big police chase. We showed you that earlier. Major tie-ups of Route 78, the entrance ramps east and westbound to the southbound Garden State Parkway as they clean up that major accident out in Union Township, New Jersey. We're live over the Bronx. Back to the studio.
Thanks for the update, Joe.
You were out on the links today, right?
Played 18, yes,
yeah,
I did.
You're a golf lover, and one of golf's biggest events got underway today right in our area.
Thousands of fans flocked to Baltusrol Golf Club in Springfield, New Jersey as the pros started showing up for the PGA Championship. CBS 2's Deuces Rogers there joining us live. Hi, Deuces.
Hello, Dana. It's golf's fourth major of the year. I tell you, a lot of the golfers arrived today, and plenty of fans are here, and they all have one thing in common. They're all excited. Baltusrol has put on its best face for this week's PGA Championship.
It's always very exciting to play the PGA Championship. It is the last one, and it's, all the guys are gunning for the last one, and obviously it's one that we all want to win, so it's very, very important to us here.
It will be important for the golfers to play well. This course is long, and it has teeth. Have you seen the golf course yet?
I have not, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it's been stretched out pretty good, so it's going to be a pretty tough week, I would say.
Yes, the course will be difficult, but one player found the practice range to be just as challenging.
driving range is nice. That's one of the tightest driving ranges I've ever been on. So if I can keep it in between the driving range, I think I'll have a pretty good week.
Fans have been here all day to get an autograph or two from Fred Couples or to defending champ VJ Singh.
Out of all the autographs you have on there, and on your cast it looks like too, which one are you most excited about?
VJ.
And why is that?
Because he's totally awesome. He's like number 2.
The crowd's different. Very vocal. Very excitable.
Are you one of those vocal fans?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think we're all vocal, right? Are we vocal fans in the Northeast? Yeah! Boom, boom, couple.
You're not. It's a golf course. You know you're not supposed to do that, right?
We're not on a green. We're not on a driving tee box. We're okay.
One thing that's not okay, cell phones. The organizers asked that you not even bring them out here at the golf course. Tiger Woods was out here early this morning, we're told. He hit the golf course at about 6 a.m., much earlier than I got up, but we hope to get him tomorrow. Reporting live from Springfield, New Jersey, I'm Deuces Rogers, CBS 2 News. Jim and Dana, back to you.
All right, Deuces, thanks.
Coming up, a new danger in Iraq. Sandstorms are not only creating a health hazard, see how they're affecting the country's future.
And just months before his trial, big changes in Saddam Hussein's defense.
If you know a story that Arnold Diaz should investigate, call 1-877-SHAME-ON-YOU. That's 1-877-426-3668. She's after Hillary's job, coming up at 6.
New Yorkers need a full-time senator.
Janine Pirro's plans to challenge Hillary Clinton for her Senate seat, plus preparing for a bioterrorist attack. Homeland Security's big test in the heart of Midtown. CBS 2 News at 6. They're average people who lead typical lives, except for one thing. They don't have sex. Ever. Tonight at 11, asexuality. It's a growing trend, but what's causing it? The experts speak out tonight on CBS 2 News at 11.
Don't you get it? She has nasal allergies.
He's right.
Pal, only Flonase is approved to treat nasal symptoms from outdoor and indoor allergies, plus year-round environmental offenders. Allegra's approved to treat nasal and non-nasal symptoms from just 1. Zyrtec and Claritin are approved to treat nasal and non-nasal symptoms from just 2. Only Flonase is approved to treat nasal symptoms from all 3. For best results, use daily. Side effects are generally mild and may include headache, nosebleed, or sore throat. Flonase. Ask your doctor.
As an actress, I try to understand my character. But when it came to menopause, I didn't have a script to turn to. So I turned to my doctor. I asked about osteoporosis and menopausal symptoms like hot flashes and night sweats. I got the answers I needed. For me, being a woman isn't about playing a role. It's about playing it smart. Turn to your doctor or healthcare professional.
Nobody can do what Maaco does. Maaco can repaint your entire car fast. In most cases, just a few days. Our economical ambassador paint service is only $229. Make it easy, make it right, make it Maaco.
Sometimes you just can't get away from high cholesterol. When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Lipitor can lower your bad cholesterol from 39 to 60%. And if you have several common risk factors, Lipitor can reduce your chance of a heart attack by 36%. Lipitor is one of many cholesterol-lowering treatment options in addition to diet and exercise that you and your doctor can consider. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or who may become pregnant. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about other medications you are taking or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as these may be signs of a rare but serious side effect. Ask your doctor about Lipitor today.
Severe weather in Iraq. Sandstorms are sweeping through many parts of the country, including Baghdad. Take a look at this video. With zero visibility, the streets of the capital are virtually deserted. People are wearing masks to try to protect their faces and their mouths, and local hospitals are reporting crowded conditions with patients complaining of severe asthma and respiratory ailments. And with the deadline for a new constitution just a week away, the sandstorms forced Iraq's president to cancel a meeting to tackle disagreements among rivaling factions. Saddam Hussein's family is reorganizing his defense. The family is naming just one member of a Jordanian-based legal group as his sole counsel. The former Iraqi leader is expected to go on trial this fall.
More protests are planned in Israel over the next few days ahead of the scheduled Gaza pullout. Israeli settlers in 3 areas of the Gaza Strip are being forced to leave their homes. The pullout is set to begin August 15th. Meanwhile, the unrest on both sides continues. Today in Gaza, Palestinian militants briefly abducted 2 United Nations workers and their driver. Palestinian security guards stormed the kidnappers' hideout and in a hail of gunfire rescued and freed the UN group.
Coming up, water restrictions are now in effect in some neighborhoods in our area.
Plus, a local woman in desperate need of a liver gets a second chance at life. Her story in our Health Watch.
And coming up at 6, a big controversy over plans to build big stores in a Long Island neighborhood.
And good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Jeff Baradelli. It was a fairly good weekend in terms of humidity. It was fairly dry, but there is a front just to the south of us. A lot of clouds, a lot of thunderstorms, and certainly a lot of humidity, and it's all pushing north very slowly. We'll talk about it and what it means for the forecast coming up.
Operating income of 3.4%. So I want to thank all of you for...
They're ready. Are you? Get your game face on when the Jets take on the Detroit Lions. Preseason football starts right here, Friday night at 7. CBS-2, your official Jet station.
Eat steak, eat a big old steer. Eat steak, we have one deer. Beef, it's a mighty good food. It's a great meal, and I'm in the mood. Eat steak, eat a big old steer.
When it comes to health care, New York's Medicare beneficiaries love zero. And that's exactly what you get from the 2005 HIP VIP Medicare plan. As in a $0 premium plan in Nassau County, a $0 premium plan in New York City, and $0 office copays throughout the city. You'll also enjoy a wide range of prescription drug benefits, including 0 limits on formulary generic prescription drugs and brand name drug coverage in New York City. So, get the card that treats you like a VIP. Want to know more? Call right now, and we'll send you a free New Yorker's Essential Guide to Medicare, all with 0 obligation and 0 commitment. So what are you waiting for? With HIP VIP Medicare plan, 0 never looked so good.
My name is Tom Carvel, and I got to do a 30-second commercial.
Now, when I was a kid, this guy, Tom Carvel, would make these incredible ice cream cakes like Fudgy the Whale and Cookie Puss.
Dad, can we eat the cake before it melts?
Sure.
It just isn't a party without a Carvel ice cream cake. Made fresh with Carvel's creamy ice cream and a layer of chocolate crunchies. Pick up a sundae and dash with 6 new Sundae Dashers made fresh every day with great-tasting Carvel ice cream. They're good to go.
Thank you.
The Jewelry Factory has a huge stock of diamonds and fine jewelry and guarantees the lowest price. 3-stone rings are $3.99, diamond studs are $1.99, and 3-stone pendants $99. Buy factory direct and save. The Jewelry Factory in Hackensack.
Gas, electricity, adrenaline. The RX 400H, the world's first luxury hybrid. Discover it at Lexus.com.
Eat steak, eat a big old steer. Eat steak, we have one deer. Beef, it's a mighty good food. It's a great meal, and I'm in the mood. Eat steak, eat a big old.
The CBS Evening News is coming up at 6:30, and Bob Schieffer is joining us now with a preview. Bob?
How you doing, Jim? We're going to talk a lot about Peter Jennings tonight. He really was a remarkable figure in journalism. He made his mark. We all respected him as a competitor, but he was a friend of those who knew him. So we'll talk about that tonight and his impact on this era in journalism.
He touched us all. Thanks, Bob Schieffer. See you tonight at 6:30.
You bet.
While some areas have gotten drenched with heavy downpours, several towns in Bergen County are struggling with a drought. The Ridgewood Water Department has imposed Stage 4 water restrictions for Ridgewood, Glen Rock, Midland Park, and Wyckoff. The 4 towns get their water from close to 60 deep wells. That means no irrigation of any kind is permitted. The harsh restrictions are in place there until there is some break in the dry weather. Which brings us to
Jeff Baradelli with some wet weather in the area, but not for them, I guess.
You know, it's feast or famine. With summertime thunderstorms, one area in one day can break a drought with 3-4 inches at once when these torrential downpours come with thunderstorms. And a couple of blocks away, there might not be more than a drop of rain, and that's the way it's been. Certain areas have gotten pummeled with very heavy rain, certain areas not much at all. We hope that tonight at Yankee Stadium, there isn't any rain because the Yankees are taking on the Sox. I'll have that forecast coming up in a couple of seconds. This shot courtesy of Chopper 2 and Joe Bierman. Joe, thanks for the shot. A little hazy out there, so that humidity, unfortunately, is back. You know what that means, a tropical air mass, summertime showers and thunderstorms, especially during the afternoons. Today was kind of a different day. We have a front that's sitting right across the area right now, pumping in the humidity. That's made it cloudy, so the areas that were cloudy for the most part today didn't really get the showers and thunderstorms. It was the areas that had some sunshine in the morning that heated up past the other areas. That's where the instability was. That's where the atmosphere really started to pump upwards and create those clouds and those showers and storms. We look at Viper right now, generally just moderate rain, couple of patches of heavier stuff in northern New Jersey. The heaviest stuff right now is definitely down towards the Trenton area. So if you're traveling on the New Jersey Turnpike towards Princeton, Trenton, that's where we have some torrential downpours, some heavy rain. Otherwise, not much lightning associated with this. Now we've switched over to rainfall mode to show you how much rain has fallen during the day today. So let's go back to Viper and show you the rainfall rate that we had during the day today. All right, so let's head up now first. I believe we're headed into either the Newburgh area. All right, now let's see how much rain we had in that area. It's a strong thunderstorm today that occurred during the early afternoon, produced about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of rain in a very short period of time, and there were reports of some flooding. Also some heavy rain right along the border of New Jersey and Pennsylvania around the Port Jervis area in total during the day today, and it occurred over several hours, about 2 to 3 inches of rain, and a little more in certain places around the Flemington area, the Trenton area, the Princeton area, around 2 to 3 inches of rain there as well. All right, now back to the other computer. It has been a very steamy summer. The steam is on the way back. This week temperatures will get close to 90. We could see a couple more 90s. So far this summer, it has certainly been hot. 16 days of 90-plus heat in Central Park, and at Newark, 25 days at or above 90 degrees. This, in total, I did the math last night, the 6th hottest summer on record. We're not trying to break a record for the hottest summer, folks, but we could come close. We'll see how hot it gets. Now, this week, again, temperatures in the upper 80s to near 90, so not as hot as it was last week, thankfully. 83 degrees the current temperature right now. The dew point 65, so that is about average, but that dew point's going to be coming up because our winds are going to switch out of the south, especially as we head into tonight and tomorrow, and you'll notice that humidity coming back. Current temperatures in central New Jersey right now, some rain-cooled air, especially Toms River, 73. There was some rain there. Old Bridge, 75 degrees right now. A little warmer where it really hasn't rained as much in Long Branch, 79. Central Park right now, temperature 83 degrees. We managed to get a little bit of sunshine, so that it heated us back up, but this pretty much is the high for today. 79 in Poughkeepsie, 80 in Islip. All right, dew point, measure of how much moisture is in the atmosphere. The higher the number, the more moisture there is in the atmosphere. We have higher numbers over Long Island, so it's steamier there with dew points in the low 70s. Same story in central and western New Jersey, but a little vestige, if you will, of some drier air, which is going to be moving out and replacing it, the moist air. And you can see the front over us right now with the cloud showers and storms. So as we head through tonight and during the day tomorrow, the southerly wind is going to lift this front to the north, so the dry air is going to begin to exit. And so I think we'll actually break out into a little bit of sun tomorrow. So temperatures will be a little warmer. We'll probably see some scattered showers and thunderstorms because of it. So less clouds, still a lot of clouds tomorrow, but less clouds, a little more sunshine, and those showers and thunderstorms and humidity probably persisting for a good part of the week. All right, let's head through Central Park, across the Harlem River, and to Yankee Stadium. The forecast for tonight, other than a passing shower, should be fine. They should get the game in at 7:05 and beyond. Again, passing shower, that's just about it. Mostly cloudy, scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm tonight, 74. Clouds, and again, some sunshine during the afternoon. That'll destabilize the atmosphere. We could see a pop-up shower, thunderstorm, 86 degrees. There's your 5-day forecast now. Wednesday, it looks like an area of low pressure could try to clip us to the south and east. If so, we'll have a couple more clouds around and a chance of some showers and thunderstorms again. 89 on Thursday, 89 on Friday, flirting with that 90-degree mark all 3 days into Saturday as well. It's going to feel like summertime, but there's nothing that big in the forest, no big storms, and right now it's kind of quiet in the tropics, which is great news finally.
That is good.
Nothing brewing out there?
There's a couple of storms, but they're very minor, and they don't look like they're really going to do anything.
Good.
Yeah, that's the way we like it.
Stay mid-alphabet there.
That's right.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. We have something new to tell you about here. If you ever wish that we would go deeper into a subject you're especially interested in, well, now you're going to have your chance to do that, to have your voice heard. Each Friday, CBS 2 will tackle a hot topic segment, an in-depth look at a subject of interest to you. Just let us know what you want us to focus on. It has music and everything. You go to our website, WCBS-TV.com. Look in the center of the page for ways to get in touch with us. The weekly hot topic only on WCBS-TV.com and CBS 2 News.
Does that mean like it's always something serious, or is it, what do you think? Like heavy news
if
kind
we're
of
leaving it up to the viewers, and that's what we're doing, and it's a subject you want to know more about, it doesn't necessarily have to be what we call hard news.
It could be all kinds of things.
That's right.
Feature news, trends, anything.
We're leaving it up to you.
Coming up in Health Watch, good news for a woman in need of a liver transplant.
And a new treatment for cancer patients allows more accurate radiation. Dr. David Marks explains how it works next.
Hey, I'm Ted. When I was living the single life in New York City, life was good. I had my friends, Marshall and Lily, and my pal, Barney.
I suggest we play a little game I like to call, Have you met Ted?
What? No.
Hi, have you met Ted?
Then I met the one girl who would change everything.
The real thing.
Did you kiss her? I want our first kiss to be amazing.
That is so sweet. So you chickened out.
How did it all turn out? Not exactly the way I planned.
Jerk!
How I Met Your Mother, coming to CBS Mondays this fall.
The burn says it's working. Well, this is new. If it burns, it's working.
Imagine a dental plan that kills germs without the burn. Crest Pro Health Oral Rinse, like the leading mouthwash, kills 99% of common germs that can cause bad breath, plaque, and gingivitis, but without the burn of alcohol. Crest Pro Health kills germs without the burn.
It must have been cold there in the shadow. Thanks, Daddy.
Look, she's making plans too.
It's never too early.
I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know it. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Be prepared for life's most important moments. Chase gives you everything you need to be the hero.
I could fly
Dance with me.
than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my
Your choice, your Chase.
My family's crashing. My parents are splitting. It's all my fault. My fault. I just want to die. I'm so scared. Where will I go? I don't know who to trust. I just don't know what to do.
Call toll-free 1-800-445-0899.
No matter what you want, when you want it.
New York is a city that's always on.
That's why CBS 2 is always on at the new WCBS-TV.com.
Nobody knows New York like we do.
With more news stories.
The fastest downloads.
And the best quality video.
Plus weather, traffic.
And sports you can customize.
It's your New York the way you want it.
The best local news on the web.
Like the city that's always on.
CBS 2 is always on.
At the new WCBS-TV.com.
A new lease on life for a public relations specialist at the center of an organ donation controversy. 31-year-old Sherry Kurzrock is said to be doing well after receiving a new liver at NYU on Saturday. Kurzrock's family and friends were criticized by some for launching an all-out media campaign and bypassing normal waiting list systems to get her a new liver. Kurzrock's PR firm Ogilvy says tonight she received the organ through a waiting list she'd been on for 3 weeks. Jim?
In Health Watch tonight, there's a new therapy to treat cancer more accurately. CBS 2's Dr. David Marks is joining us with the details on this. Sounds exciting, David.
Well, Jim, radiation therapy is one of the ways to treat prostate cancer, and it helps many patients. But now doctors are combining radiation therapy with CT scans in an effort to help more people.
Right, I know.
78-year-old Martin Casper has a lot to live for.
I have a daughter that just gave birth to a little boy.
Unfortunately, he also has prostate cancer. His doctor hopes to wipe it out with a new treatment called tomotherapy. It's radiation therapy, but with a twist.
Tomotherapy allows us to do a CAT scan while the patient is on the table right before each treatment so that we can see the exact position of the tumor and the normal organs right before they are treated.
The treatment involves a high-tech device called a linear accelerator. The linear accelerator rotates around the body 6 times a minute, producing radiation beams in the thousands and from all angles. That allows the doctor to sculpt the therapy directly to the tumor site. It's like taking real-time, 3-dimensional aim at the cancer.
What we're looking at is 2 CAT scan images. The gray is the CAT scan we've used to plan the radiation. And the yellow is a CAT scan while he's on the table, a live CAT scan.
Comparing the two helps doctors pinpoint cancerous tissue and decrease side effects.
Our goal with radiation is to deliver as much radiation as we can to the cancer or to the tumor and limit the radiation to the normal tissues or structures that are nearby.
That's important for Martin Casper. He wants to be cured, that's for sure. But he welcomes any treatment that may help him avoid potential side effects like incontinence and impotence.
I was quite happy that the machine was here.
Experts say tomotherapy is best for treating cancers located deep inside the body. Dr. Gersley says it's also good for hard-to-reach tumors because it helps doctors target them with precision. And with regard to the Kurzrock situation with the liver transplant, as a clarification, she was automatically bumped up to the top because she was that sick. She was near death. So all the PR didn't necessarily make a difference.
System seemed
she
to work
got
the way
it,
it was supposed to.
right. The system worked well.
All right, David, thanks.
Okay.
That's it for us at 5. We thank you for joining us. I'm Jim Rosenfield. Dana Tyler joins Maurice DuBois with the news at 6 now.
Thanks, Jim.
And right now at 6, Jeanine Pirro challenges Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton.
So I'm looking forward to this race, and I'm looking forward to winning it.
Pirro explains why she'll win in a one-on-one interview.
John Jr. Gotti goes to trial to face fraud and conspiracy charges. Hear why he says he's a changed man.
Plus, Homeland Security with a unique experiment on how to protect New York in the case of a bioterror attack.
This is CBS 2 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Maurice DuBois.
I'm Dana Tyler. Jeanine Pirro makes it official. She's running for the U.S. Senate.
The announcement coming after months of speculation. CBS 2's Tony Aiello is in the Flatiron District Force tonight where Pirro spoke about her decision. Tony?
Maurice, Jeanine Pirro surprised many with this decision. Just last week, she was telling friends she would probably run for governor. Jeanine Pirro is 54 years old. She's a native of upstate Elmira. She's married with 2 children. She's been a prosecutor and a judge and became Westchester DA in 1993. She tells me she is dead serious about beating incumbent Hillary Clinton.
Tony, you know me a long time. You know that there have been a lot of opportunities for me along the way. I am a person who is committed to the decisions that she makes.
Jeanine Pirro says she's in it to win it, not merely to raise her profile in a long-shot race against Hillary Clinton. The former First Lady's presumed designs on the Oval Office were a major talking point as Pirro discussed her decision.
We have to make sure that in New York we have a senator who is willing to do the job. I'm the only woman in the race who really wants the job. When you look at Hillary Clinton, there is someone there who is running for president. And New Yorkers need a full-time senator to address the very important issues that we've got to address.
Pirro knows she gave a lot of political junkies a major fix by agreeing to run against Hillary Clinton. She also knows the press and pundits will feast on the various problems and peccadillos of their respective husbands. The impeached former President Bill, who famously did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky, and the convicted tax cheat Al, a Westchester power broker who fathered a child during an extramarital affair. Republicans say Al and Bill, quote, cancel each other out. Pollster Mickey Blum disagrees.
Bill Clinton can do Hillary a lot of good. Bill Clinton can be an asset to Hillary Clinton. Al Pirro is certainly not an asset to Jeanine Pirro in her race.
Pirro's strategy will be to refocus the race on the players, not their partners.
I will make this race about me, what I've done, and what I'm capable of doing.
Senator Clinton's spokesman was pretty dismissive, saying, while Republicans sort things out, Mrs. Clinton is working hard for New York. 2 other Republicans promised to challenge Jeanine Pirro in a primary. She formally kicks off her campaign the day after tomorrow. Live in the Flatiron District, Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News. Maurice.
Tony, thank you very much. In other news now, the spectacle of organized crime, intrigue, violence, and money all collided today in federal court. CBS 2's John Slattery was there for opening statements in the trial of John Jr. Gotti.
The sister of John Jr. Gotti, Victoria Gotti, sat in court most of the day, then left with 2 bodyguards.
Your reason for being here today, just what you said upstairs?
Yeah, just to support my brother. Really, I don't have any comment. Thank you.
John Jr. Gotti, who is already serving 5 years after pleading guilty to racketeering, is now accused of more, including conspiracy to kidnap radio talk show host Curtis Sliwa. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Gotti wanted Sliwa silenced because of Sliwa's media rampage against Jr. Gotti's father, former Gambino crime boss John Gotti. It's charged that Jr. Gotti gave orders to grab Sliwa and beat him within an inch of his life, and that Gotti ordered 2 henchmen, one posing as a cab driver, to pick up Sliwa on his way to work in June of 1992. The prosecutor said Sliwa was shot twice in the torso, the doors were rigged shut, so Sliwa propelled himself over the cab's divider through an open window, and the attackers left him there bloody to die on the street, but Sliwa survived. Gotti's father, who died in prison, was convicted on the testimony of mob turncoat Sammy Bull Gravano, who ended up serving only 5 years for 19 murders. Jr. Gotti's attorney said his client, who pleaded guilty to racketeering in 1999, didn't order harm against Sliwa and said Gotti didn't want a life like his father. Quote, John Gotti changed when he realized his children might grow up without him. I'm not saying he wasn't a gangster, because he was, but he'd had enough and he wanted out. End quote. Gotti's lawyer said government witnesses like Gravano are all liars who want sweet plea deals. Gotti, who has 2 co-defendants, is also charged with securities fraud scams and exerting control over construction unions. The trial is expected to last 2 months. John Slattery, CBS 2 News.
Praise, respect, and mourning tonight with the death of Peter Jennings. He died here in New York last night after a battle with lung cancer. CBS 2's Carrie Lyon looks at the life of the man who was the face of ABC News.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
From the anchor desk to the action. Over the past 4 decades, Peter Jennings covered the biggest stories from every corner of the globe. Born and raised in Canada, Jennings never graduated high school, jumping instead into his broadcast career. Colleagues at ABC say he brought credibility and an in-depth knowledge to the stories he reported on.
I just can't think of a time when Peter was not the absolute glue, the inspiration. But I worked pretty hard. He made me work harder.
His passing from lung cancer at the age of 67 also signals the passing of an era when the news was dominated by the big 3 anchors. And the new kids on the block say Jennings was one of the first to call when they took over the anchor chair.
Peter was gracious from my very first day, and well beforehand. I would so much like to make it back where it was, bring back these formidable competitors, these lions that I look forward to competing against.
Peter was one of those people that if you were his friend, he nurtured that friendship. And so he called and wished me well and said, I hope you get a lot of news. Don't get all of it.
That's it for now in World News Tonight. Have a good evening. I'm Peter Jennings. Thanks and good night.
Carrie Lyon, CBS 2 News.
Well, coming up, what would happen in a bioterror attack on New York City? Next, see what the Homeland Security Department did today to give them a better idea.
Also, why police say a new device to test drunk drivers is foolproof.
Plus, what may soon be coming to a Long Island neighborhood that has people there saying enough is enough. Jeff.
Closed caption is brought to you by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's moving you forward.
As the sweltering days of summer come to pass, the time comes for an event so momentous it can't be missed. The Toyota Time Clearance Event.
And Toyota time is the right time for savings on winning vehicles like the Toyota Sienna. It's packed with safety features for you and your family. And right now, you can lease Sienna for only $249 a month or buy Sienna and get $1,000 cash back.
The clock's running, so catch this event now. With deals like these, everyone wins. That's moving you forward. They're average people who lead typical lives, except for one thing. They don't have sex. Ever. Tonight at 11, asexuality. It's a growing trend, but what's causing it? The experts speak out tonight on CBS 2 News at 11.
E.T. remembers Peter Jennings. Our exclusive interviews.
And what his closest friends tell us today about Peter's final hours.
Plus, inside Eddie Murphy's divorce papers. Next E.T.
Tonight at 7:30 on CBS 2.
All across New York, small businesses, working people, and their families finally have quality health insurance they can afford, thanks to Healthy New York.
I needed health insurance for myself and my employees.
And now it's more affordable than ever, with lower premiums, more choices, and it's easier to qualify.
Keeping working families and small businesses stronger and healthier. That's Healthy New York.
To find out if you qualify, call 1-866-HEALTHY-NY.
Pro football. A game for the ear and the eye. A 3-hour carnival of color, sound, and action.
NFL Sunday Ticket provides the most NFL games anywhere, up to 200 in total, and it's only available from DirecTV.
For the player, victory makes the game glorious. For the fan, glory is the game.
Sign up now and get 4 free months of DirecTV's best programming package. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
At Keyspin, we make the energy that keeps the lights on. It's not just a job.
It's a privilege to work for a company
that has customer service as its priority.
Reliability.
Reliability.
Reliability. It's important to us
and our customers.
When there's a problem, we go out and fix it.
We take great pride in our work because Long Island is our home, too.
Our home.
Our home.
Our home.
Our home. Our home.
An update now on the police chase on the Garden State. We first told you about at 5. Joe Bierman over the scene with an update if they caught that other suspect. Joe.
Yep, Dana, big chase out of East Orange. Ended up Route 78 at the Garden State Parkway. They caught 3 out of 4 bad guys. Well, game of hide and seek is over. Police just found the 4th perpetrator hiding inside Tuscan Dairies here, inside their boiler room. Now they're just searching for the gun that was involved in all the police activity. We're live over at Union Township. Back to the studio.
Okay, Joe, thank you. Today, the government started testing to see how toxic gases would move through New York City. It's an experiment that could provide critical data in the event of a terrorist attack. CBS 2 investigative reporter Cheryl Fiandaca here now with more on this. Cheryl.
Maurice, any good evacuation plan would have to include getting out of the area as fast as possible in the event of a chemical or biological attack. But which way should you go to escape the trouble? That's just one of the critical questions scientists are hoping to answer with this experiment.
3, 2, 1, there we go.
It wasn't the kind of dramatic demonstration we're used to seeing, with huge clouds of faux chemical agents floating in the air and first responders carrying out the injured. But results from putting non-toxic inert gases into the air in New York City could be vital to fighting off a biochemical terrorist attack and coming up with an evacuation plan.
The first responders to any kind of chemical release need to know which blocks are safe, which ones are not safe.
Today, government scientists released colorless, odorless, and harmless gases into the air in Midtown Manhattan between 36th and 61st Streets from 10th to 3rd Avenue. The goal of the study is to determine how far and how fast a chemical or biological attack would travel in an urban environment like New York City with deep street canyons.
They'll be released in the subway, and there's also samplers in the subway as well, because there's an exchange between the above ground and underground.
Today, after the gases were released in 1 office building and 3 outdoor locations, dozens of weather stations began recording atmospheric conditions, including the wind and temperature. And the 180 battery-operated tracer samplers installed on light poles and buildings automatically began to collect the air. Meantime, roving mobile units started their manual collection of samples and data using real-time computers. WCBS security analyst Bob Strang says the information could be life-saving.
If we have a disaster, if we're hit by a radiological, a biological, or chemical device of some level, every second counts.
There will be 5 more tests over the next few weeks, and additional testing is scheduled for the spring. A full report is due out in 2007. The project, sponsored by the Departments of Homeland Security, Energy, and Defense, is expected to cost $10 million. Dana?
Thanks, Cheryl. In New Jersey, drivers pulled over for blood alcohol checks may find themselves blowing into a new device. Morris County cops are the latest to be trained on the Alco-Test machine, which is already used in Middlesex and Union counties. It's replacing the breathalyzer. Alco-Test users must also blow into a plastic tube. Officials say this thing is more reliable because it relies on computer software and new infrared and fuel cell technology.
It's much more modern. You type in all the information from the individual you're bringing in, and you make the sample, and it prints out a reading of his blood alcohol content. There's no room for human error.
New Jersey plans to introduce Alco-Test to police departments statewide by the end of next year.
New Jersey politics, meantime, more mudslinging in the campaign for governor. Today, the Republicans kept beating the drum on Senator John Corzine's loan to a former girlfriend, while Doug Forrester faced questions about campaign contributions made by one of his companies. CBS 2's Andrea Stasu has the story.
He knows this loan places him knee-deep in a conflict, and he didn't want anyone to find out.
Demanding more answers about a loan Senator John Corzine made to his ex-girlfriend Carla Katz, a powerful state union boss, Republicans staged a news conference outside the Hoboken building where both Corzine and Katz still live in separate apartments. Once again, Republicans charging that Corzine bought a union endorsement for his gubernatorial campaign by waiving hundreds of thousands of dollars he loaned Katz so she could buy a house from her ex-husband.
It's not as if he bought her a cup of coffee.
To make his case, Wilson presented a copy of Corzine's 2002 Senate disclosure form, showing Corzine reported loans made to 2 other women who were never romantically linked to the senator, but failed to disclose the $470,000 loan made to Katz, whose union represents 9,000 state employees. Wilson says there's a conflict of interest there for Corzine.
I think that the average person will be skeptical knowing that John Corzine is the person on the other side of the bargaining table.
Corzine has maintained the loan was a personal transaction excused from disclosure and told CBS 2's Marsha Kramer on yesterday's Sunday edition that there is no financial entanglement and therefore no conflict of interest.
I have no financial ties, and the relationship is over from a standpoint of close personal, romantic, if you will, relationship.
As Republicans try to dig deeper into the controversial loan, their own candidate for governor, Doug Forrester, is under fire himself. At issue whether he violated state laws that bar insurance companies from contributing to political campaigns. Forrester holds a 51% ownership interest in Heartland Fidelity, which insures the price of health benefit plans. A spokesperson for Forrester says the rules don't apply, since the company is licensed in Washington, D.C., not in New Jersey, and adds, quote, "It is clear to us that this is a desperate attempt from the Corzine campaign to deflect publicity from the recent revelations." And in a counter statement from the Corzine camp, a spokesperson said, quote, "Mr. Forrester and his surrogates are using John Corzine's personal life as a device to distract voters from Mr. Forrester's own ethics problems. It is no wonder he would try to manufacture a scandal that simply does not exist." So in a month that is traditionally slow on the campaign trail, the mudslinging continues. Dana, Maurice?
All right, thanks, Andrea.
When we come back here in just a moment, we're looking at some rain tonight and the rest of the week.
Jeff Baradelli will have your forecast next.
It's a battle over development and traffic, and it's on the border of Huntington and Smithtown. I'm Reed Lamberty. Coming up, I'll tell you what residents in this Dix Hills community have to say.
Introduced the Ford Family Plan, hundreds of thousands of Americans have joined in on the savings on Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles. Now you still have time to join the family and pay the same low prices our employees and their families pay. We've extended the Ford Family Plan until September 6th. You'll get our discounts on Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles, including select 2006 models. No hassles, no gimmicks. From the Ford family to yours, welcome.
Heartburn's back.
Ooh, deal me back in.
You mean out. Tums EX can't keep acid from coming back. Choose the juice that work fast and last.
New Maalox Anna Superior.
I'm new. I'm a chew. and I give you fast relief, plus a long-lasting protective barrier that keeps acid away for hours.
Thanks, Maalox. Now we can play for hours.
You bet. New Maalox Antacid Barrier. Choose the chews that work fast and last.
Thank you so much.
After you, yes.
Thanks. Wow. Imagine a regular guy like me getting special treatment from a bank.
You're a regular guy?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
A person's real worth should have nothing to do with their net worth. That's why at Washington Mutual, our free checking is free no matter who you are. Washington Mutual.
Salmon spend most of their adult lives in the ocean. After maturing, they migrate back to spawn in the same rivers and streams where they were born. It is here that many a salmon's life is cut short. However, there is good news. I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We're Chevy employees, and we're proud to be part of the #1 selling passenger car brand in America. Proud to offer 9 cars that get 30 highway miles per gallon or better. That's more than Honda or Nissan.
We're so proud.
For the first time in history,
Everyone in America
Gets a Chevy employee discount.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The Chevy employee discount?
for everyone.
Now, get a 2005 Malibu sedan for around $15,800. Program ends September 6th.
Ryan died suddenly during football practice. Could a simple test have saved his life? Eye on America tonight on the CBS Evening News on CBS 2. Experience you can trust.
A building battle is emerging in Suffolk County.
A developer wants to build 400,000 square feet of retail space on what some people say is a limited access road.
This proposed site is just east of Crooked Hill Road in Comac. CBS 2's Reed Lamberty tells us how the community is fighting back.
Normally loud construction equipment sits silent against a backdrop of uprooted trees and mountains of earth as Dix Hills residents claim victory in the first of many rounds against proposed commercial development.
David has defeated Goliath, but only for today.
A temporary restraining order was granted to halt development of a Walmart, Home Depot, and Kohl's on Crooked Hill Road in Comac. But across the border, Dix Hills residents say they will feel the greatest impact while receiving nothing in return.
We're talking a development that will draw more traffic than the 2 largest malls in Suffolk County.
The impact of traffic stands out as the greatest concern, residents fearing that the additional cars would just burden already busy local roads, and all of that traffic coming in and going out from just one exit ramp off of the LIE. The proposed 400,000 square feet of retail space would neighbor an already large shopping complex, which includes a Home Expo, Costco, and Target. Residents say the 2-lane Crooked Hill Road would simply not be able to handle the influx of traffic. Jane Eisen worries most about her children.
My kids they take the bus every day, and how is that going to impact them on the bus while you have all this traffic and the trucks going back and forth?
Frank Gargano, GOP candidate for Suffolk County Legislature, was granted the temporary restraining order on the grounds that the town of Smithtown failed to consider quality of life issues. No one from the town returned our calls.
Residents did not have a meaningful opportunity to voice their opposition to this project.
Smithtown officials will apparently now face a much larger fight, as Gargano says the town of Huntington is joining in the battle to keep construction permanently halted. In Comac, Reed Lamberty, CBS 2 News.
Jeff Baradelli's in for John tonight. You want to be a little non-committal about this one, right?
Hit and miss showers. You might get them. You might not.
Very official.
What are you going to do? You know? Hey, I'm the same way in my relationships. Very non-committal. All right, folks. No, not kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I have a very serious girlfriend. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman.
Oh, he continues.
Well, you know why? Because after that comment, she might dump me. So, you know, I have to.
And, yeah, Jeff.
That's what I'm saying.
Dig that hole.
All right, okay, let's talk about the weather, shall we? We have a lot of haze out there, and it's cloudy skies across the area right now. Hit and miss showers here or there. Not everyone's getting wet as we speak. All right, here's a look at Viper. We have some occasionally moderate rain right here in the heart of central New Jersey, which extends west into Pennsylvania. I'm a little concerned that some of this rain might try to keep riding northeast towards the city. which means there could be a couple of showers during the Yankee game. Even a thunderstorm is possible around the area right now. We also have another patch of rain to the north of New York City. We've been cloudy in the city, so it's been fairly stable, meaning we haven't had the extra energy of the sun to really heat things up and pump up the thunderstorms. It's been rather dry in the city with a couple of spritzes here and there. All right, let's zoom on into the Bronx because we've had some lighter rain. Right now we have just a little bit of drizzle, little light rain right around the Major Deegan. Here's Yankee Stadium, and here's East 161st Street. But again, lighter rain on and off today. It's possible this evening with the Yankee game starting just after 7 o'clock. As we head north of the city, again, mostly light to moderate rain. A couple of patches of heavier stuff just to the south of Newburgh and also right around Sussex. Some heavier rain in central parts of New Jersey as well. Freehold, Marlborough, New Jersey, Red Bank, Eatontown. This whole area is moving basically to the east-northeast. Staten Island's right there. It could clip Tottenville and Staten Island, maybe JFK and out onto the island. It's possible we're going to see some rain. So hit and miss rain around the city right now. It's rather quiet. Over to the temperature map we go. We'll talk about temperatures around the area, which weren't very hot during the day today. We got to around 83. That was the high temperature in the city. Right now in Murray Hill, it's 81 degrees. Bushwick and Brooklyn, a temperature right around 79. Again, cloudy skies. Some rain-cooled air in Hackettstown. It's been raining all day with around 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches of rain in that area. 72, but Hoboken, not much rain at all today, 82 degrees. So it was a cloudy day, and here's the reason why. We've had this front lying right over the area. And with that front over us, it's made it rather cloudy with the very heavy rain right over the Delaware Water Gap. Again, not much in the city. This front is going to be lifting its way north overnight tonight, and that should give us less in the way of clouds and more in the way of sunshine tomorrow with a chance of some scattered storms. And this is the way it's going to be pretty much the rest of the week with plenty of humidity. So overnight tonight, some scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm. Tomorrow, clouds, some sunshine, a possible thunderstorm, 86. The wettest day could be Wednesday, and then after that, just sun and a scattered storm with humidity every day and highs around 90 degrees. So a very typical summertime pattern, guys.
All right. Thank you, Jeff.
Coming up in sports, we're live at the site of this year's PGA Championship.
And a huge pickup on defense for the Jets. Chris Raggy next with sports.
The low-carb craze is gone, so what's new in the diet world? I'm Mario Bosquez. Tuesday morning starting at 5, we'll tell you about the brand new wave of diets.
Plus, point-to-point traffic reports, Dave Price's weather forecast, and half the commercials. CBS 2 News this morning.
Surviving an empty nest.
I don't know how I'm going to cope.
Even Robin has to face it.
I am really going to miss George.
What good are you in this deal?
Next, Dr. Phil.
Tomorrow at 3, only on CBS 2.
Hey, Mom, I know you're going to be disappointed, but I'm not going to be able to make it home.
Come on, it's your birthday.
But I have 2 papers that I have to do.
Well, you have my chase card if you decide to fly home.
No, Mom, sorry.
You'll be back when I look around.
Chase email alerts keep you on top of your checking account.
Don't pull up right in front of the house.
Show me that you're mine, girl. All right.
Email alerts to keep you prepared for life's little surprises. Your choice, your Chase.
An easy way to experiment with color before you paint? Benjamin Moore calls them color samples. I call them color selection simplified. With 260 designer colors, it was easy to go from here to my wall, where I could see each color big as life, day and night. Color samples are available only at your local Benjamin Moore store, where you get the expert advice and personalized attention you can't get at a warehouse home center. Thanks to Benjamin Moore, I found the perfect color.
Color samples, only at your local Benjamin Moore store.
Only 16 days left. Negotiate, negotiate. Roma 2000 Furniture Ridgewood will close the doors forever Wednesday the 24th at midnight. Negotiate your best deal now on anything in the store. Everything has got to go, and we're easy. All reasonable offers will be considered. Just get here in time.
Start the day with a splash. Bring on the blue. Moving to the horizon. Bring on the blue. Now you're flying again.
It just feels better with an Aqua Velva man. Introducing Aqua Velva Ice Balm Aftershave. Alcohol-free, vitamin-infused. Skincare from A to V.
Operating income of 3.4%. So I want to thank all of you for...
They're ready. Are you? Get your game face on when the Jets take on the Detroit Lions. Preseason football starts right here Friday night at 7. CBS 2, your official Jet station.
Peter Jennings, the latest on the death of the news legend. Next Insider.
Time for sports. This is a big deal for the Jets.
This was a very big deal. The Jets filling a major hole in their secondary today. Ty Law, a four-time Pro Bowler and a shutdown corner, finally signed to a 7-year, $50 million deal that is heavily incentive-based. Either way, it's still a lot of money. Law worked out for the Jets today, passed his physical, and signed on the dotted line. Law, an impact player, held the Patriots team record for interceptions with 36.
I've visited a lot of teams, and I've seen a lot of good things, but, you know, if I had my choice of them all, I mean, I'm in a place where it just seems right for me to, you know, stay within the division and come here. It was just a match made in heaven.
Now, if you notice, Ty Law is wearing number 24, the number that belonged to Ray Mickens. Mickens, in a surprise move, cut today. This was Ray on Saturday talking about bringing Law to Long Island.
To be honest with you, I hope he comes. I mean, it's going to make us stronger. I mean, at this point in my career, I'm trying to win a championship. And if Ty Law can help us do that, then I'm all for it.
Really a shock to everyone involved. Mickens, a 9-year Jets veteran, was listed as one of the Jets' starting cornerbacks, but the Jets obviously had other plans in mind. The 87th PGA Championship teeing off this week at Baltusrol. Tiger Woods on the course bright and early this morning. This evening, our Deuces Rogers is in Springfield, New Jersey. Deuces, how you doing?
Chris, many of the golfers arrived here this morning. They arrived blind. They had not seen the golf course, not until they had their practice rounds. Once they did, they discovered one thing. It's quite lengthy. Despite being a par 70, Baltusrol is long. It measures 7,400 yards. The 17th hole alone is 650 yards.
In a normal golf tournament, you look forward to the par 5s. You know, you have 4 of them, that's your birdie chances. I mean, the first one we're going to meet here, I guess, is 17, which is 650. So, that's not going to be, you know, one of those gimme birdies you look forward to.
The first 6 or 7 or 8 holes always were very long, and I'm sure they still will be. So we'll find out. I'm sure it's, I've heard it's playing very long, but you got to hit it straight.
Defending champ Vijay Singh is a heavy favorite, but don't count out Michael Campbell, who won his first major this year at the U.S. Open.
Winning your first major is always the hardest one, and winning the second one may be a little bit easier, but the expectations are a lot higher.
The PGA Championship may not have the aura of the other majors, but it might be the most competitive.
PGA has always had a tradition to have the best field. Even though they have the club pros, they still have the top 100 players usually in the world, and so they usually have the strongest fields, which should make it the toughest one to win.
Walking the course this morning, I can tell you the fairways are tight. That means the drives will have to be accurate, and they will be at a premium. Chris, I know you've been out here, so you can definitely attest to that. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, as long as it stays dry, they keep in the fairway, they're okay. But if it rains out there, it is going to be extra long. Thanks, Deuce. Tonight, the Yankees hosting the best team in the big leagues, the Chicago White Sox. Starting for the Sox, El Duque. The Yankees will counter with Mike Mussina. What's the deal with Carl Pavano? Scheduled to return this week, Pavano instead making a trip to visit Dr. Andrews in Birmingham, Alabama. Not a good sign. Randy Johnson also in jeopardy of missing his next start. Before you know it, Aaron Small is going to be the team's ace.
There's going to be injuries. Obviously, we've had that throughout the course of the year, but I think you just take it every day as it comes, and hopefully some guys can step up. It doesn't matter what obstacles we have, we're going to overcome them. And we're going to have a warrior-like mentality and go get through this.
Yes, you're going to have to get through it. The Mets are in San Diego. They're off tonight, but they begin a series with the Pods tomorrow. And Wayne Gretzky, the great one, named the new head coach of the Phoenix Coyotes today. And that's Sports Desk.
Hey, by the way, I threw a little bit of Port Jeff High out on Long Island.
Did you?
You think I can play with the Yankees?
Yeah, possibly.
Probably not.
Got a deuce?
No.
You throw a curveball?
Thanks, Chris.
Let's take a quick look at what's coming up tonight on CBS 2 News at 11. Jim Rosenfield in the newsroom. Jim.
Hi, Dana. Coming up at 11. They're average people. They lead typical lives except for one thing. They don't have sex, ever. Asexuality, it's a